Hey witches, mystics, manifestors, people who just like tarot. Welcome to my channel. I'm Ray Luna. For today's pick a card reading, we are looking at why people like and dislike you. And that is because oftentimes the reason why people admire you or look up to you, that can be the same reason why some people might dislike you or have issues with you. So I thought it'd be kind of interesting to put that in a video together. So for the selection here, we have these little milks. So for group number 1, we have plain milk. For group number 2, we have strawberry milk. And for group number 3, we have chocolate milk. So take your time and pause the video if you need more time to decide on what card and milk is calling out to you the most. And when you're ready, head to the description or comment section to click on the correlating timestamp to receive your reading. Thank you for watching, and I hope you guys enjoy this reading. Hey group number 1, welcome to your reading. You chose the plain milk, and your cards here are Yield Patience and Skull Endings. So one reason why people like you is they like how you're patient, okay? So if someone makes a mistake, they don't know how to do things properly, you're going to be the person who comes in with patience, explaining things to them so that they can get it right. You're the type of person who nurtures people and allows them to make progress. You're not the type of person who's like, okay, you're not exactly at 100% right now, so I'm just going to drop you. I'm just not going to care. You're the type of person, you're going to catch someone up to speed with what is going on and help them out. You're very patient, very kind, and people know they can count on you. You're also someone, I feel like you're not hot-headed, so you're not going to rush into decisions or the next thing immediately. You're going to take some time to think about things here with yield. You're going to be still moving, but you're not going to be moving like very fast. You're taking your time cautiously before you move forward, right? Like how if you are driving a car and you see that yield sign, that's how you move, that's how you act. So people really appreciate that about you. But on the flip side of that, you guys might have people dislike you for that same reason because, there's that group of people who are very fast-paced themselves. They instantly make choices and move forward without thinking about it very deeply. So you might have friction with people who have that opposite type of personality. And there's that other group of people where they might not like how you're cautious because they know they can't fool you if they had, negative intentions. Of course, not everyone does that, but some people could have negative intentions and they don't like how you have that ability to monitor a situation and be cautious because you're going to catch them red-handed. They don't have access to you immediately. So, that's actually a good reason why people dislike you because you're taking out the bad people before they can even get to you. So that's a good reason to have people dislike you and like you. I also see here, too, with these 2 cards, they make me think of a situation where you're able to cut things off or end things quickly. So people respect you for this because you value yourself, okay? You don't let people force you into things. I feel like you guys are someone, too, like you're more immune to peer pressure. I mean, everyone can be influenced by other people, but you're very much so a critical thinker. You're not just going to do something because your friend says, hey, there's this cool new trend, why don't you do this? Like, you think about things before you do it and make sure, okay, is this resonating with me? Is this in alignment with what I want to do, my morals, my values? Like, that's how you're thinking about things. So people respect you because you stick to what you want and you don't compromise unless you see the knowledge and value in what they're saying and feel like, okay, that can help me out with my goals, my ambitions. There's people who dislike you because they feel like you cut them off instantly. Like you don't let them like mess around and play you for a fool. You have that meter where you can sense, hey, like, this is not going to work. This is something I have to end, unfortunately. And you know when it's someone who's playing around, and you know when it's someone who really needs patience and has genuinely made a mistake. So people who are kind are going to appreciate that and like you for it, and people who are not are going to get frustrated because they're like, like, I can't get what I want from this person, right? So that's another thing I see here. So let me pull some cards and see what else comes through. Okay, so with these cards here, we have the Ace of Wands, the Devil, Ten of Pentacles, Three of Cups, and the Seven of Wands. So what I'm seeing here is you guys are very attractive here with the Ace of Wands and the Devil. This means people will have an extreme attraction to you. You guys attract a lot of opportunities because of your attractiveness, like the way you look, your personality, your charisma can also be attractive. So these things together draws in a lot of financial opportunities. Like people might be more likely to give you a job because they like your personality. They might more likely give you a job for something front facing because they think, okay, you're really attractive, you're going to draw in customers. So I feel like you guys have that type of beauty. And people also could dislike this about you. Like people like that about you, but people dislike this because they might be jealous that you get those things because of, your look, your personality. People might feel like you're not getting things based on merit, not saying, you don't have merit or you don't work hard. You most definitely can, but this is how other people are perceiving it. They think, oh, like he or she just gets things because everyone finds them attractive. They just get things because they have a lot of charisma, even though they don't really know what they're talking about. They just act like they know what they're talking about. So people might say stuff like that about you. And also, I feel like with the devil can bring in extremes, okay? So you guys are the type of people, you might be liked because you have extremes in your life. Like you might have extremely good luck at times and extremely bad luck at times. Like there's times where you could buy a scratch ticket and win like 20K. You might have a story like that. But then you might have a time where you had extremely bad luck and you missed out on a life-changing opportunity to move. Something like that. So people like how your experiences have shaped you to have a balanced outlook on life, because that balanced outlook on life was formed by experiencing extremes and learning how to process that, learning how to handle that. But the devil also brings in, see these chains here? And just the overall like vibe of this card is kind of haunting, right? You guys might have people project onto you, so you could have people become obsessed with you. Like people might like love to dislike you, if that makes sense. Like you get a lot of people who are very attached to your energy, and because they can't handle that, it's like a obsession. Even if it seems like they don't really like you, it's because they like you a lot. They're like, it's toxic, okay? Like the ideology of being obsessed with something doesn't really make sense because they're using it to fulfill a need that they're lacking in their own life by projecting that value onto you, even though, you're just trying to live your life. That is also something I pick up that might be negative that people see or they project onto you. But a very positive thing here that people like about you with the Ten of Pentacles here and the Three of Cups, you guys are very, very generous, very giving. You don't let that energy of those people who love to hate you in a way take you down. You're very kind to your friends, your family. I feel like you're the type of people, like if you host a party, you're making sure like everyone's eating really good food, everyone's drinking their favorite drink, maybe a movie everyone likes is on TV, you're playing good music, like something about you is like very nurturing and it caters to other people's needs to the point they feel like, wow, like this person really wants me around them. They really respect me. So you guys have the ability to uplift your friends and family and even strangers. You could make friends very easily, like people like that charisma. Once again, your charisma. You have something in your energy that pulls people in, but could also pull that negativity in with that devil card too. That keeps that influence of the devil card. I keep picking up on that. And with the 7 of Wands, you have a fighter's spirit. So you don't give up, but you guys are also fighting for other people. So maybe people feel like you're really supportive of them and their goals and wishes. And with those extremes you might have experienced in your life, you're using that to help other people, whether that is someone is experiencing a high point in their life. You're helping that person learn techniques to remain grounded. Or if they're at a low point, you're helping that person learn techniques to maintain hope or faith till things get better. So people like you because you're really like experienced and you just have that personality that's like down to earth, but you don't let people disrespect you. And that ability to respect yourself makes it so you're not allowing in other people who are disrespectful to your friends and family because you're not letting yourself get disrespected. So you're cutting off negative influences from your life, protecting you and other people around you. People also appreciate that about you. So I'm going to put down 2 cards and see what else comes through. So with these cards here, we have Precious Moments and Neptune. And in this card, we see the 3 women here together enjoying that moment. And that reminds me of, look, the 3 of Cups. It's kind of that same energy. So people really like being around you guys because you're uplifting. And then there's that other side of people who are jealous and they want your ability to pull people to you, to attract people, to attract opportunities. You guys just have that. I would describe it as like, people always talk about like Marilyn Monroe, right? Like she had that magnetism to draw people to her. You guys kind of have something like that. Even if you don't realize that, you have a lot of like down to earth qualities. Even if you're putting on a show or you're trying to be more entertaining, people can just tell, oh, you're down to earth, you're open-minded. You understand things bigger than yourself, smaller than yourself. Like you understand a lot of different things. And that's what I keep picking up, like down to earth. But you have magnetism. So like when you're humble, it might set people off because they're always trying to prove you wrong or trying to like prove something for themselves so that it upsets you. But you don't let that happen. You just enjoy life. You enjoy the people around you. You uplift people. And when people talk to you as well, like let's say if someone has a criminal record, it might be harder for that person to have a community because people might be suspicious of that. You're the type of person, you're going to talk to them and you're going to look at the circumstances and try to find out, okay, why did this happen? Is this person, able to improve on what they have previously done as a mistake? Like you're very open-minded and you don't just write people off unless there is a good reason. Like you're going to look into why someone did what they did, and people really love that about you. And with Neptune is something that makes me feel like really creative, really artsy, and that putting on a show, something being orchestrated in some way. So it's like you orchestrate things to entertain people and make them feel comforted. It's like that kid that will sing and dance for their family and try to make everyone laugh and smile. You guys have that energy. So people really appreciate this as well. That was your reading, group number 1. I hope you guys liked it. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments. If you did like the video, consider liking it, subscribing. I always appreciate that. I hope this reading has helped you in some way, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye. Hey, group number 2. So you chose Strawberry Milk here, and with your cards, we have Power Lines Energy and Rainbow Hope. So one reason why people like you guys a lot is you make people feel like they have a lot of energy. You make them feel motivated to take action, to act on their dreams. So I feel like you guys have that energy of like being a motivational speaker or a life coach, a teacher. You make people realize the faults in their thinking, and you help align them and put them on the right path. After they talk to you, they feel hopeful about life. They feel like, okay, like I can do this. My friend, you told me so. That's how people think about you. I also feel like too with Strawberry Milk that you chose. Strawberry milk is kind of unusual, right? Like chocolate milk or just plain milk's more common, but strawberries, that flavor that is a little bit more unique, is not as common, but there is a lot of people who really like it. So that's like with you guys, not everyone is choosing strawberry milk, but those that do, they really love you. They appreciate you the most. You're their favorite. So I think people might dislike you. I feel like someone would dislike you if they don't like how maybe they feel like, oh, you're too optimistic, or you're just telling people like what they want to hear. Like people might say that about you, but you're just trying to encourage people. You're just trying to be hopeful yourself and look at the bright side of things. So, you don't want to be apathetic. You make it so apathy is turned into motivation for people. And I think that's a really likable quality. But that also could be why some people, like maybe if they're more pessimistic, they might have trouble connecting with that. But I don't think there's anything wrong with being, more optimistic. Sometimes you need that optimism to carry on. So I'm going to put down some more cards and see what else comes through. Okay, with these cards here, we have the 10 of Pentacles, 5 of Wands, 10 of Cups, the High Priestess, and the 10 of Swords. So with the 10 of Pentacles and the 5 of Wands, I think one reason why people will like you is you have this ability to go after your dreams, to have hope in the face of strong adversity. And while this is admirable, this is why you might motivate people, because they see what you go through, they see what you overcome, and think, wow, I can do that too. This is giving me hope. Some people might dislike you for that reason, because I'm going to be honest with you, I think they're just negative. Some people feel like, oh, you're too idealistic, you're too ambitious. Can you really achieve that? Like a lot of naysayers will dislike you because you're kind of disproving what they think. You're going against their belief system by being the opposite of what they're thinking. So I think you're trying to be optimistic, you're trying to go after your goals, but it does attract people who might question you a lot. You might even get into arguments sometimes with people, because if you're open and you're honest about what you're doing, people will just engage in conversation with you, like, oh, do you really think that's possible? Oh, how much progress did you make on that? Is that achievable? Is that realistic? Like, you might get those type of conversations a lot. But on the good side of that, I do think people like you guys with the 10 of Cups, because you make people feel like there's a reason for things. Things have meaning. Like if someone is having an existential crisis, if they talk to you, they feel like less anxiety because you are very logical, you're very reasonable. You're not optimistic in a way where it's crazy or, delulu, as people say, right? You're optimistic in a logical way, a practical way. You're the type of person to tell someone, hey, like, you can go after your dreams, you can follow your intuition on what you want to do, but have a plan B for that plan A plan C for that plan B. You tell people just to be prepared, and you allow them and give them practical tools so that they can succeed. People really love that about you. I also feel like you guys might make people uncomfortable here with the Ten of Swords. You make people confront the most difficult parts of themselves. So with the High Priestess and the Ten of Swords together, this is like dark thoughts, dark subconscious patterns people have to go through and deal with. Like, you awaken that in people, so sometimes people might dislike you because you're triggering people having to go through difficult self-work. Like, they have to think about what they're thinking. Is that actually helping me? Am I being too negative? Am I being, whatever they're being too much of? Like, you're making people think deep about themselves, but that can make, people will be happy about that. And then there's people who they're not ready to confront their deep thoughts, their dark thoughts. So that can be hard for people sometimes to do so. Those people might want to remain in a place of not knowing or not confronting their own dark parts of themselves. So I think you also might experience some people disliking you at first, but then later on becoming your friend, or telling you like, oh, hey, like, when I first met you, I kind of thought you were mean, or I thought you were stuck up. Like, you might have people saying that because you just intimidated them at first, but once they got to know you, once they dealt with what you brought up in themselves, they changed their mind. So not all of this is completely negative. It's just something like you make other people realize about themselves. So I'm going to put down some more cards and see what else comes through. Okay, and with your cards here, we have fertility, manifestation, and renewal. So the first two cards together here are like people liking your ideas, what you talk about. Like, you have this ability, like with fertility, to birth new ideas, new concepts. So I feel like your life will be benefited by your own mind, your originality. People might envy how you can just seem to easily create things. You might be able to easily start successful businesses, easily start new friendships, easily get people to listen to what you have to say. So that is something where people are like, wow, I wish I had that ability to create in my life. I want things to be better too. Like, how does this person, manifest so easily? How do they achieve their goals so easily? And I feel like you guys do that because you are optimistic in a realistic way. Like I said, you're not being, delulu. You're actually taking the steps to manifest. Like, you might script, you might visualize or affirm things, but you never miss out on taking action so that your dreams actually do come true. A lot of people miss out on, to manifest something, you can't just hope and wish for it. You do have to take action, and you're the type of person that you really mastered that ability to visualize it and then take action on it, making it more likely to happen for you. I also see here too, with manifestation, this is like you have a lot of potential to create. So people already see you creating things and they enjoy that, but you have the potential to create things even greater. So people like you because they feel like being around you is leveling up their life, right? Like, there's this saying that says, you are like the 5 people you spend the most time with. So if you are one of those people feel like, okay, my life is going to be good because you're a good influence on them. You have good ideas. Like, you're not someone who is making people feel negative. You're not someone who you're just hyping people up to hype them up when it's like they need criticism, right? You know how to balance out giving criticism and giving praise. And people want you in their life as like an advisor. Like if you lived in like the time of queens and kings, right? You're the type of person the king or the queen would have as a royal advisor to make the right choices, do the right things that would make sense for, that kingdom or the people who live there. So you really are respected in that way. I also feel like, too, with renewal, this is reminding me of this previous message here, the High Priestess and the Ten of Swords, but a bit more positive. You make people who are willing to hear your messages, they're willing to, deal with that triggering of having to reflect on themselves because of what you say. Those people who listen to you will really have their life transformed because by following your advice, as I said, like you have the ability to coach people to do the right thing. When they listen to that, their life experiences a renewal, and it's like you've been there, you've done that. So you're giving advice from a place of lived through experience. So it's more likely for people when they follow your advice, it's going to be successful. So that was your reading, group number 2. I hope you guys liked it. I hope this reading has helped you in some way. If it has, consider liking the video, subscribing, leaving a comment. I always appreciate that. I hope to see you guys in the next reading. Bye. Hey, group number 3, you chose chocolate milk here, and your cards are fence, boundaries, flamingo, fun. So the first thing I see here for why people like you is with fence, boundaries, I feel like you help people let their guard down. People feel like they can easily trust you. They feel like you have a really fun personality. So even someone who is more reserved or more introverted, these type of people will really like being around you because you have this type of energy where it's easy to bounce off of your energy, right? Like you have really pure energy, really fun energy, uplifting energy, and that makes people feel like, oh, you're a safe person to be around, to talk to. People don't feel like you're gonna overstep their boundaries, so they let those guards down. They let you in easily because they know if they do, you're not gonna be looking for ways you can take from them. You are a genuine person, and people just sense that off of you. Some people, if they were to dislike this about you, it is because they might think, oh, like, who does this person think they are? They think they're better than everyone because of the way they communicate, the way they talk. They think everybody likes them. Like, you just trigger people who are insecure. So people will dislike you if they feel like, oh, you're having too much fun. Oh, you seem to get along with so many people. Like, these are people who don't like how, like, you can talk to anyone. You can have fun with anyone because of that natural, genuine kindness you possess. I also see here too, with flamingos, fun. Flamingos are a standout kind of fun animal in the animal kingdom, right? So I feel like you guys have a lot of traits about you that might be a little, like silly, quirky. You might have really funny stories, unusual stories, or maybe there's something too about your look, kind of like a flamingo, that makes you stand out too. So people feel like, okay, this is someone who might be a little bit more unusual or more open to things. So that also is why people like you and want to be around you. And people dislike that too if they're more close-minded. Maybe they like things very strictly a certain way. They don't like things that stand out. So you could attract that opposite energy from that as well. So I'm going to put down some more cards for you and see what else comes through. Okay, with these cards, we have Strength, the Devil, Wheel of Fortune, the Empress, and the Three of Cups. So I also feel like people like you guys because of your strength of character. As I said, you have genuine kindness, but also You have the strength and ability to stand up for people who might be dealing with struggles here with the devil, like addictions, strong issues that can be heavily associated with negative aspects of life, right? Like you help people overcome negative things they had to deal with, negative experiences. But there is people too, like this is strange. Like I feel like the people who dislike you, honestly, like this is a good thing that they dislike you, because this is a weird thing to be upset by. Like some people might feel like, oh, you're like babying people, you're helping them too much so they can't learn, which I feel like that's kind of silly. So maybe you think that as well. Like people have said that to you and you think like that's really stupid. Like why would I just not help people? Like what? That's kind of how I'm feeling here with that message. But you are someone who's always helping people, and you know that a lot of the people you help, that kindness will be repaid, and you're not expecting a special thanks, but you have had people thank you for how you have helped them, or you're thankful to see that person afterwards just flourish and have a lot of changes in their life to something better, more whole. And that's great. That's something that's very awesome to pick up on. And with the Wheel of Fortune and the Empress, I feel like you guys help people see their own value. You help people come out of a dark place, but you also help people see themselves as more so the Empress. The Empress is someone who births new ideas, creates a lot, is self-assured with herself. You help people find the way to be self-assured like the Empress is, and you make it so they have confidence. They see their talents and abilities and they use them to improve their life. So for instance, if you helped someone with the Devil card, you helped them change their life to something better, right? They could have been dealing with, like, let's say an addiction. You help them see how that addiction is harming their life without demeaning that person. You're not invalidating their struggles and what they went through. You're helping them to see why, like, okay, even though you dealt with that negative thing, that could have been logical in your life at the time, but now how can we make a change to improve upon that and make it something better? Like, you don't beat people up to change them. You see them where they're at right now, and that makes it so they can make actual change. Okay, because you talk to them where they are right now, not in a way where it seems impossible for them to reach. People are celebrating you. People, like, if people write a gratitude list, you're one of the people here that they're grateful for. People might even in the future want to give you some sort of surprise or gift because of your kindness. Like, I don't know if you guys do like volunteering, or you have a lot of friends you helped through personal struggles, but that feels like you have a lot of support from a community who wants to reward you. So I think there is people who dislike you because they wish they had that support. They wish they had that community. They don't know how to build it. They're very maybe like individualistic, and they just shut other people down when they see that, because maybe they have not had help themselves. They had to do a lot on their own. So they take out, their own struggle onto you, or they wish they had someone like you in the past to help them. But instead of changing that, they're holding on to that negative belief, unfortunately. But there is people who definitely love this about you, and it really is a quality that's irreplaceable in my opinion. And in the positive perception of people, a lot of people think this way too. Like, the world needs more people like you, especially like now, right? Like, you are someone, like, in the spiritual community, there's people called, light workers, people whose sole purpose is to come here and make the world a better place. I feel like you guys are one of those people. So I'm going to put down some more cards and see what else comes through. Okay, with these cards here, we have self-discovery and divine feminine. So yeah, you guys are definitely like divine feminine, regardless of your gender. You guys have the ability, like how the divine feminine has to nurture people, to grow them while not stunting or limiting your own power, right? Like when you're helping other people, your power increases in your own life. Like you don't feel threatened by people having skills and qualities you don't have. You don't feel that people who lack things are, should just not be dealt with. You want to help everyone, and that's amazing to have that quality. Like really, it's really needed to have this quality now. So people, this is probably like the number one quality people really love about you, they like about you, because you don't put people down. You're always putting people up. You are making sure people who lived or dealt with the most difficult things can discover, with self-discovery, parts of themselves they never would have otherwise, maybe because they didn't have support. So it's like divine feminine, that's you. It's like you're that support for those people, and you help them find their way to improve their life. You help them overcome maybe wounds with feminine related things. So you help, for instance, like maybe you help women connect with being more feminine in the way that they can feel empowered, they can feel safe with feminine things. Maybe you help men as well not feel threatened by feminine things, help them realize you can connect with feminine things and it's not weak. Like there's something there. You really transform people's perceptions. Maybe you help people with divine feminine, just like healing and nurturing. That's what I feel the most here. I also feel like people like you guys too, because with self-discovery, I feel like you have done a lot of self-work, so that allows you to be an effective support or healer for other people. And I want to be very clear too, divine feminine doesn't mean like you just don't ever do anything or you just sit back and receive things. Divine feminine takes action, but it's in a way where, feminine things aren't insulted or they're not looked at as just weak, right? So you're able to take that power and make it transform your own life and other people's lives in a healthy, constructive way. So that's really awesome to close out this reading with group number 3. I hope you guys liked it, group number 3. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it has helped you in some way. If you liked the reading, consider liking the video, subscribing. I always appreciate that. I hope you have a nice day, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye.